The latest market stats are out, and if you're at all interested in real estate, you need to watch this, because we're seeing a little bit of a change, and it might mean something. Now, just like always, we'll take a look at the numbers. You know how much I love numbers, but what I think is more important is what we're seeing out on the street. And there's a direct correlation to what we're seeing and the latest numbers. So I'll explain that, so stick with me till the end, because there's some very important information in here that, especially if you're thinking about buying, you need to know right now. So first of all, let's take a look at the numbers. Inventory continues to go up, but we've seen a little plateau here. Now, I want to quote one of my favorite mentors: one data point does not mean a trend. But we're going to come back around to that. We see a little plateau here. It's edged over into a buyer's market, which I think everybody knows if you watch the news. Of course, they're making a bigger deal out of it than it really is. But when inventory goes up, supply and demand takes over, prices come down, and we've been seeing a steady decrease in median price as well. We saw a little tiny uptick last month. That's kind of an anomaly because, the market always goes up and down, but we kind of look at the trend overall, and the trend seems to be flattening as well, which of course corresponds with the supply. So now let's take a look at it a different way. So again, we've got inventory, that's the supply, and then how long it takes to get under contract, which is another way of taking a look at demand. So we see that same little tiny plateau, and again, that doesn't mean a trend, that just means a change. And then, of course, the longer and longer it's taking to get under contract, but we've seen that kind of decrease a little bit over the past 2 months. Now, here's what we're seeing out on the street and how it correlates to this. And then I'll wrap it all up and give you my advice. We're seeing more people show up at open houses. That's not an official gauge of anything. Sometimes we just do a better job of marketing. Sometimes it's a better day, or we have less competition with sports events and the beach and everything. But we're seeing more people show up at open houses. We're getting more telephone calls. So that is a positive sign that things are beginning to shift. Now, here's what I want to tell you. You guys have been sitting there waiting for the crash, waiting for the bubble to burst. You better quit waiting, because all of this indicates, and again, nobody has a crystal ball, nobody knows for sure, but all of this indicates that the market may have bottomed out. And if you've been sitting there waiting, if you don't get in the game now, you may regret it. And just take my advice. Let's take a look at the numbers together. Let's make a plan. Let's see if it works for you. No strings attached. We're not going to pressure you. We've got plenty of work without having to make people and convince people into buying stuff. But I want you to know, I've got people from my very first week in this business, more than 10 years ago, like almost 11 now, that are still waiting for the bubble to burst. But in the meantime, they've gotten priced out of the market. They can't afford anything. Even if the prices dropped in half, they can't afford them now, because their original price they could have bought of back then, it's never going back there. So listen, people, this might be the opportunity. Let's take a look at it together. If you're a seller, I understand. Sellers are really, really feeling fatigued right now, because we're not used to this. The last time the market was like this was a very long time ago. I remember it. It was hard then. It's hard now for sellers. It's taking longer than what we're used to. And truly, most people who are real estate professionals were not in the business yet back when the market was like this before. So it's kind of a struggle for a lot of folks, and not knowing quite what to do. But we've got a program that works. It just takes longer now, and there's nothing anybody can do about that. The only thing you can do to sell fast right now is to lower your price. And of course, a lot of folks don't want to do that, and some folks can't. Everybody's situation is different. We'll tell you anything you want to know. We'll hook you up with a lender that can explain the numbers to you. And again, it doesn't cost anything to talk, so let's have a conversation. See if now might be the time for you. Because if you miss out, you miss out, and you'll end up getting priced out because real estate always goes up over time. So thanks for watching. I hope you got something out of it. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.